Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It's me, your girl, BrittReacts, and today we are reacting to Kevin Hart tells hilarious Patrice O'Neal stories. Let's see what he has to say.
You do it. You ping pong hate off of one another.
Yeah. Unless it's funny.
Okay.
It can be funny hate.
Sometimes
funny hate.
Good hate.
Funny hate is just between yourselves.
Like Patrice.
Patrice was one of the best.
Funny hate.
One of the best funny haters. Okay. You bring up a good point. Comedic hate
is a different kind of hate.
Is a different kind of hate.
Yeah.
Comedic hate.
Right.
Rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal.
Rest in peace.
Probably the best. Patrice
sure,
used to do.
Time.
I remember when I would talk.
Oh.
And if I was saying something.
I'm so glad they gave context because I'm like, funny hate? What's happening? I understand now. I guess they're just saying, like, you don't want, like he said, ping-ponging hate, but, like, ping-ponging hate in a friendship is, like, that's frenemy territory, I guess. But, like, comedy hate feels like it's fuel for, like, more good comedy.
Something you would just hear, ugh. What you talking about? He's like, ugh. What are you talking about? He's like, just the way you talk bugs me. I was like, what? Your voice, everything.
Kevin Hart has the most obnoxious voice, but it is the single-handed reason why he is so funny, because he, like, elevates it into that screechy, like, da-da-da-da-da. It's obnoxious.
Bugs me. I was like, what? Your voice, everything about your voice just makes me want to punch you in the face. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, ugh.
When he would go after you too, it kind of made you feel good too.
Right.
Like if you're a
he
comic,
sees you.
especially if you're a comic. Like I called Opie and Anthony once. I was talking to them, and Anthony always has a gun on him. He carries a gun everywhere. Like he has a concealed carry permit and shit. And I said to him, do you ever worry that maybe you're putting out this energy and you're manifesting something like some sort of an attack on you because you're constantly dwelling on it and you always have this gun? And Patrice goes, Joe believe in magic. Joe believe in conjuring up the world. Hey, man, I'm positive energy. Just starts laughing. See, he's magic. Joe's magic. Shit on me. And I'm like,
Kevin is crying. We should all aspire to leave this type of legacy behind. Like they're like literally crying tears of joy thinking about this man and the memories he left them with. And like he was like being a jerk to them, but like in the best way, right? And also I can imagine when a legend like Patrice O'Neal acknowledges any kind of comedian like up and coming, you feel seen. You're like, wow, please keep making fun of me. Like you see me, and that means you like in a weird way have a respect for me.
Joe's magic. Shit on me. And I'm like, when he would go after you, man, it was like you just want to step back and watch.
I remember he got Bill Burr so mad one time. Oh, Bill used to get so fucking mad. Beautiful thing about Bill Burr, when we be snapping, Bill was the guy to get mad. Like, it's not funny.
If you went after him,
it's not. None of it's funny. Y'all laughing. Bill would be like, where's the punchline in it? There's no punchline. He would get so fucking mad. The Comedy Cellar, the days that we had there, man, Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neal, Keith Robinson, Jim Norton, Colin Quinn, myself. When I say we would sit at this table, for 4 to 5 hours, and it would be nothing but beautiful trashings to one another. When I say they used to give me so much shit, that's probably why it's so hard to bother me now. The trashings that I took from the age 20 to 24 in my young comedic career about how awful I was. I had a joke.
It's so funny, but like comedy, I think, is one of those careers where like we really only see the good stuff. Like, you know, like with athletes and maybe singers, and you know, you can see their growth, but the comedy world is such an underground world until you reach a certain point. And unless you're like really into comedy and you like to frequent like comedy clubs, you know, like the underground scene, you didn't even know who these people were until they hit the like mainstream TV, Netflix kind of thing. You know, they got a movie deal or something like that. But like there were chunks of like years where no one knew who Kevin Hart was. No one knew who Bill Burr was, but they were like working hard underground. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're on the scene. It's like, no, it's not all of a sudden for them. They have literally been clawing to these points. And I think that's such a cool thing to think about. Like he's telling us these stories that like no one would ever know because it wasn't televised. It wasn't filmed. It wasn't documented. No one cared. And now, of course, everyone cares. But comedy is interesting like that.
Comedic career about how awful I was. I had a joke. I had a joke way in the beginning of my career because of the times. Let me preface this. This was way in the beginning of my career. This was a joke that I had about little people, midgets at the time, and it's it was so bad. It was I got robbed by a cross-eyed midget, and the joke was I didn't know he was robbing me. Because I was with somebody else. So he was looking at my friend, but he was robbing me. It was like a play on being crossed. It was a very, very awful joke. I remember telling this joke, and a phone book comes flying on the stage. Patrice threw a fucking phone book at me. I'm talking, this is where the Boston
Yellow
Comedy Club.
Pages.
It's people in the crowd.
Tiny little place.
All you heard was, and you see, bap, it hits the floor. And I said, yo, what the fuck was that? And Patrice said, read it. There's better material in it than what you're saying now. Crowd starts laughing.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Crowd starts laughing. He's, they all, when I say they used to trash me so bad. So bad, man. Give you a legendary Patrice O'Neal story. I caught Patrice jerking off in my house before. This is. I moved to LA. I'm staying in the 2-bedroom apartment. I just got there. Patrice was coming out. I said, yo, you need a place to stay? I said, I got 2 bedrooms. You can come there. This is my ex-wife at the time. I come home. It's like afternoon. I was like,
Shut
Patrice,
the front door.
Yo, Patrice. I go in the back, open up the door. I had this big ass computer. Right? All I see is his back hunched over. it's like baby oil right here. And I come in, I'm like, yo, what you doing? He's like, yo, get out. Are you jerking off in my house, man?
First of all, Kevin, you're dead wrong for not knocking on that grown man's door. Second of all, this is funny because Patrice would find the story funny. Patrice would not be offended that Kevin was sharing it. Like, he would be laughing and being like, yeah, he interrupted my session. Like, that is so funny. Like, I like to learn that they were that close, that they lived together. And that's the other thing. Like, most of these comics grew up together in the industry. Like, they all did the grind together. And I think that's such a cool thing. Like, they have so many stories.
He's so sick. He's so fucking sick that he didn't stop. He said, get out. Get out. He was so concerned with finishing that he didn't even break stride. He didn't turn around. Nothing. Get out. You just saw his back hunched. He came out like 7 minutes later. It was like, my bad. I didn't know you was coming home. Didn't even acknowledge. Fucking Patrice, man. I love him to death. Yeah,
he had the most don't give a fuck of any
100%.
comic I ever met. Like
100%.
He also was like one of those people. It's like I feel like he was born the same age. Like, he was the same age forever. Like, I can't imagine a young Patrice O'Neal. Like, I feel like he was always just like that same like middle aged, curt, funny kind of guy.
the death.
Yeah, he had the most don't give a fuck of any
100%.
comic I ever met. Like
100%.
the most.
100%.
Yeah.
Good and bad, though.
Yeah.
There was a good to it, and there was also some bad to, a lot of things that didn't happen for Patrice probably could have happened, but I think the level of not give a fuck prevented some of those things.
Well, he was almost
deep.
too authentic.
Yes.
I don't know much about his career. I have reacted to some of his stuff here on this channel, which is my only introduction to him. But I can't imagine, especially in the day that he was coming up in comedy, where the world wasn't so accepting and inclusive and like understanding, and a lot of things were like, oh, I can't believe he said that. Like, sexuality was very much so off the table back then. Like, it was taboo to talk about it, and I think a lot of his humor came from that. I think he would have found better success like at this time, because I think more people are, the world has just changed, and some, although we do live in cancel culture, some things are just not as offensive as they used to be. And so yeah, I get this point here.
Been at some of those things.
Well, he was almost too authentic.
Yes.
Like did you ever see that? Was it Charlie Sheen's roast? Whose roast was it that he did where he just tortured everybody else that was on the roast with him?
And then he got up there, and afterwards
you motherfuckers aren't on my level.
Yeah.
You talking shit about me? Why am I here?
I shouldn't even be here with you guys. Who the fuck is this bitch? Who is this bitch? He pointed to her. Oh my God, Patrice has so many of those things.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see that.
One of the best to do it. If you are listening, you're not educated on Patrice O'Neal. Just I ask that you just watch Elephant in the Room, one of his specials. I mean, some of the funniest shit ever, man.
And so insightful. Mm-hmm. He was so wise.
Very
like
smart.
The way people thought and behaved. He would say shit. Like one of the things that he said that I tell people all the time. It's a brilliant thing that he said. It was I forget what controversy it was, but he was on television with some woman who was saying that you should never tell jokes about certain things, and they were getting mad at someone. I think it was Opie and Anthony about a joke. And he said, you got to understand that all jokes come from the same place. The ones you like and the ones you don't like. The ones that make you laugh and the ones that make you mad. They all come from the same place. Someone's just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they just don't work.
I had a talk with the I forgot her name. I forgot her name, but it was when I was doing all the promo for Upside, and they kept trying to break down, where the jokes come from. Kevin, these insensitive jokes that you told back then. Why? What makes you? Why would you even say those things? And the hardest thing for me to explain, I was like, do you think people think of jokes? And while thinking of them, think that they're not going to be funny? Everything that you think of in a joke form, you're thinking of it because you think you're going to get a laugh behind it.
Yeah.
The gamble is if I get the laugh versus not get the laugh. If I don't get the laugh, the joke was not funny. If I get a laugh, then I guess I'm onto something. There isn't a bunch of thought that goes into the...
Yeah, I feel like comedy is probably a whole lot of trial and error. Like a whole lot of trial and error. And unfortunately, you have to test it on people before you can know sometimes. And that is where it can be a dangerous game for comics. Like that's a risk that you have to be willing to take. Is like it could land or it could flop and piss people off.
If I get a laugh, then I guess I'm onto something. There isn't a bunch of thought that goes into the funny moments that we think may be great bits.
Yeah.
I wish that I had a more logical answer to put behind it. I said, but I don't, especially at that time in my career.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be funny. The same way that some people think certain jokes funny that aren't funny. It's a thought. Comedians are constantly throwing shit out there.
Yeah.
You're constantly rolling the dice and throwing shit out there. Half the shit you roll ain't good. It's not gonna be good. The other half, maybe all right. Maybe kind of good. But it's all with the intent of entertaining. It's not with the intent of being malicious.
Right.
It's not with the intent of sparking hatred.
Yeah.
It's all trying to make you laugh.
Yeah.
That's it. Like it's literally that simple from a thought within a comedian's mind.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And they kept trying to look for this like hard definition of why. And I was like, I don't have it. I don't have...
Yeah, like, was it rooted in this? And do you really feel this way? And he's like, no, I just thought it would be funny. It's that simple. Sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes people want it to be this big convoluted thing, and it's not. He thought it would be funny, and it actually wasn't. It failed.
Why? And I was like, I don't have it. I don't have the reason why. I thought it would be funny, and it wasn't. That's the downfall.
That's it.
Or it was funny at the time, and then the world changed, and now it's not funny. Food for thought. I love this interview and getting to learn a little bit more about like Patrice's background and Kevin's uprising upbringing, his rise to fame. I don't know the first time I was introduced to Joe Rogan. I want to say he was like hosting some type of show, but I didn't understand or know that he was in the comedy field. So that's new information to me because it seems like he is or he was. All right, guys. Well, before I go, I want to let you know that my Patreon is launched. It has launched. It's finally live. The link to it is in the description box of this video and also the description of my channel. There's already some fun things on there. The behind the scenes vlog of the day that I filmed content with Mr. L. Boyd, as well as a reaction to an SNL skit already on there. And I have plans for more behind the scenes footage, a concert series where I go to every concert I can and take you guys with me. Obviously more reactions that are unseen here on the YouTube, the tube of you, and merch. Merch is on its way. It'll be coming really, really soon. Still working on some developmental stuff, but it's on the way. And if you are a Patreon member, then you get first access, pre-access to pre-orders, however you want to say it, and some discounts. I'm fumbling over my words, so I'm going to go. But if you're interested, click the link there and go have the day you deserve. Peace.